Coach Rose Peterson. I'm a certified personal trainer, both in person and online, and a certified nutrition coach. I help moms locally in Las Vegas, Nevada, and all over the world shed the weight holding them back from becoming their most energetic and authentic version of themselves so they can go after their deepest desires alongside of motherhood. You can find me at fitandconfidentmoms.com. Are you working on weight loss and frustrated because you haven't been getting results? Maybe you're in one of these two camps, so let me know below in the comments. Either one, you've made a lot of changes to your diet, you saw maybe some results for a little while, and then now no matter what you do, the scale just stays the same. Or you want to lose weight, you've done it before, but what you're doing now is no longer working. And you might be experiencing a concept called metabolic adaptation. So today's Tuesday Talks, we're going to talk about metabolism, what metabolic adaptation means, some myths and misconceptions about weight loss. But here's the thing. We got a lot of good news because you have a lot of control over your metabolism. And I'm going to share the science-based information all about weight loss. My name is Coach Rose Peterson. I am founder of RP Fitness and Nutrition. I'm a certified personal trainer, certified nutrition coach, certified pregnant and postpartum coach, and a weight loss expert for women. So in today's talk, let me know, comment below. Are you watching live? Are you watching the replay? I love to know where you guys are watching from. And if you know someone who might want to know about this information, just share this to your timeline so that they can get in on all the goodies. Okay, we got some people streaming in. Let me know where you're watching from because I am broadcasting in my free group, Fit and Confident Moms. If you're not in there, make sure you join because everyone who joins also gets free resources, gifts specifically for what you might be struggling with. And also I'm streaming on my business page and YouTube. So say hello, let me know where you're watching from. Today, we are going to have slides. So get your pen and paper out so you can take the notes that specific to you, right? Okay, so we're going to, let's see what it looks like if I do something like this. This looks nice. All right, let's jump right in. First, oh, this is kind of little. Let's change this. But I want you guys to understand that what your basal metabolic rate is. We're going to talk about metabolism. I'm going to try to talk to you guys in a way that is really approachable. Okay. So your basal metabolic rate is the number of calories your body needs to basically live its most basic life-sustaining function. So if you were lying in a bed and doing nothing else, this is the amount of calories you need to stay alive, okay? Sometimes people use the phrase resting metabolic rate, which is different than basal metabolic rate. Resting metabolic rate is a little bit more calories. So this is the number of calories that your body burns while it rests. So like maybe you're watching TV, you're lightly doing some things. So you're kind of, when you're watching TV, sometimes you could be stimulated. You could be thinking about things. So there's a little bit more calories in your resting metabolic rate. It's basically like when you're doing nothing, just sitting here. Okay. Just sitting here, maybe working. That's your resting metabolic rate. Okay. So it's a little bit different. And then there's a concept called your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure. So that is when you're also doing activities of daily living. This could be doing the chores. This could be driving. This could be your workouts. This is walking your dog. So this is all the calories you burn in a day with everything that you do. Okay. So sometimes what I have seen is people doing diets that they're getting enough calories that are lower than their basal metabolic rate. So like lower than what it takes for them to for their body to be happy and hormones to be functioning. And that's where we don't want to be. Okay. But before we jump into the do's and don'ts of that, let's just talk a little bit more about how we can accomplish weight loss, because I think that there's a lot of misconceptions around that. Oh, hi. Drop your name in the comments so I know who's watching, because unless there's a little link that you have to go to that says, I give StreamYard permission to see my name. Unless you go there and click yes really quick, I don't get to see who's talking. So let me know, just comment below your name so we can have our conversation. Okay. So all diets work the same way, which is to be in a calorie deficit. And what a calorie deficit means is just meaning that you're taking in less calories than your body is burning. You're taking in less calories than your TDEE that we just explained. All the calories that you burn in a day, we're refueling with less food. Okay, so all diets work the same way, whether that's keto. You're still in a calorie deficit because you're eating less carbs, right? So we're eating less foods. Low carb, calorie deficit. Intermittent fasting puts you in a calorie deficit. Weight Watchers, they use points to put you in calorie deficit. And flexible dieting, which is also known as macro counting or flexible eating, that puts you in a calorie deficit. What that just means is that flexible dieting is you get to eat all the foods that you love, but you're eating it in a combination that makes sure that you're still eating in a calorie deficit. And this is actually how I coach my clients, is a flexible eating method. They still get to have their coffee. They still get to have Sunday morning pancakes with their family. They still eat out, and meet people for meetings. And they still, they go to Disneyland and they still are getting results, because that's how I teach. I teach how you do calorie deficit in a flexible way so that it's sustainable, right? A lot of these other diets, they work, but do you see yourself eating this way the rest of your life? Do you want to eat a bunch of fats and proteins forever, right? Which is the keto and low carb, which, by the way, keto is more fat than protein. Do you want to intermittent fast forever? For some people, it's a great strategy. For women over 35, women over 40, I don't recommend it because you need your food in the morning. We got a lot of hormonal functions that's counting on us to work right in the mornings. We have to restrict and wait all the way until the afternoon to feel that right. That's just a lot more stress on the body and just makes weight loss harder. So don't really recommend intermittent fasting for women over 35, 40 years old. But it can be used as a strategy to restrict calories for most people. So it could be a temporary strategy. Don't have to use it though. All right. So we kind of explained that a little bit earlier, that when you eat less than your body burns, it will be forced to tap into stored tissue to have energy balance. Your body is always seeking energy balance, which is the law of thermodynamics, right? So if you're not taking in food to replace what we've burned through our activities of daily living, our total daily expenditure, then it is forced to get fuel from our stored tissue. So through different nutrition and exercise strategies, I help my clients hopefully tapping most of it from stored fat instead of muscle. So when we're not paying attention to protein, not doing some type of strength training, unfortunately, we can lose muscle mass really quickly. So it's really important that if we are eating in a deficit, that we're eating enough protein and that we're also strength training to protect our muscle. Okay. We want to have those amino acids from our protein to still combine with our muscle to help protect our muscle. Okay. Oh, sorry if I blocked my microphone. All right. So this is really important. Realistic rates of body fat loss per week. I know the slide is not great looking, but I'll verbally tell you guys. So for women, a comfortable rate of weight loss is about 0.5% of your body weight per week, which for most women could be somewhere around 0.8 pounds a week, could be a half to a pound per week. Okay. A reasonable rate of weight loss is 0.5 to 1% of your body weight per week. So think about this. Okay. So if you have, let's say you are 200 pounds, a reasonable rate of weight loss is we're going to take 1% of that. That's 2 pounds a week. I like this rate so much better than extreme weight loss, which is going to take you over 1.5 to 2% a week, because I've seen that if we lose it fast, we can gain it back fast. Now, I have some clients right now that have lost a lot of weight very quickly. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, but without a coach walking you through and making sure that when we get to that goal that we don't regain, that is the hardest part, to be honest. And even my current clients will tell you the hardest part is maintaining your weight. So if we lose fast, we want to make sure there's a strategy at the end of that. Okay. Like, how are we going to maintain your weight? Maintenance is so important. One, it helps recover our metabolism. Two, we got to learn how to eat to hang out at our goal weight. Okay. And I think that that's kind of what has happened in our diet industry. A lot of us are taught how to diet, how to extreme diet, how to lose weight really quickly, which is things like keto and low carb diets. Well, we can lose weight really, really quickly, but what happens after the fact? How do we maintain that weight? So that's something that I've had trainings on too, like how to find your maintenance calories so that we can still make sure that we stay at our goal weight. Now, most of my clients are usually in the comfortable to reasonable range, which I love to be in because it's not stressful. You can go on vacation. You're more likely to keep off that weight long term if we stay in that reasonable or comfortable zone. And if a pound a week to you sounds slow, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, because let's say you've been at the same weight, or you're gaining 5 pounds year after year, right? Doing nothing or not making real long lasting change. What if we got you on a plan and you went low and slow and you actually started doing something, right? So 12 pounds in 12 weeks, that's better than not doing anything, or that's better than trying to wait for the perfect time to start a crash crazy diet where you might lose 20 pounds in 3 months and then just gain it all back because you just can't live that way anymore, right? So what if you gave yourself a year to lose weight? What if you gave yourself 4 months to lose that weight? So for example, where would you be if you did nothing? Why wait to start some crazy, stupid diet that's going to leave you hungry and not likely to stick to it? No one wants to be around you because you're hungry and grumpy. And then you end up regaining it later because you go back to normal eating and then regain it all. So I like to show my clients how to eat normally, but still lose weight. And that's why I use the flexible eating method and keep them in the reasonable and comfortable zone, and also teach my clients habits so that they can keep it off for the rest of their lives. So maintenance is just as important as weight loss, right? And that's where lifestyle habits come into play. And getting coaching, like with me, is how does that look like in real life? How does that look like when I'm running a business? How does that look like when I have kids? How does that look like when I'm a wife, a CEO, and I volunteer for all these positions? This is how it looks. Okay. So that's what a lot of my, I help my clients with. Okay. Moving on. If you have questions about any of this at all, please drop them in the comments. Actually, before we move on, I have to drop a bomb on you guys a little bit. Are you ready for this? And the reason that I'm doing this is it's not to be a biatch and it's not to be a Debbie Downer, but it's to be realistic, because I think any exercise that you do is fantastic. Any exercise is better than no exercise, but sometimes we might be accidentally not having our nutrition dialed in like we think we are. And if we're not seeing progress on the scale or in inches lost, and we actually see the scale going up a little, sometimes we try to tell ourselves, oh, well, I just started weightlifting. This must be muscle gain. Or yeah, I hear people say that this must be muscle. But to be honest, muscle does not come on that fast. So this chart below is realistic rates of muscle gain per month, per month. Okay. Beginners get the fastest rate of muscle gain. Women, we're looking at, with a good strength training program, your strength training, 3 hours a week, 0.65 to a pound of muscle gain per month. So that at most is a quarter pound per week. And that's if you're a brand new beginning lifter or you've taken a long time off of training and you're a beginner again. Intermediate, so you've been doing this for maybe more than 2 to 3 years, that rate of muscle gain is even slower, 0.325 to 0.5 pounds. And then advanced, sorry to tell you, if you've been lifting for like more than 3 years, our muscle gain rate is even slower. So all those people out there that are afraid of you getting bulky, because telling women not to lift weights, it's truly impossible unless you are following a very specialized bodybuilding program, and been doing it for years and years and years. Okay. So our advanced lifters lifting more than like 3 years, 0.16 to 0.25 pound of muscle gain per month. So I just want to point this out that, like, one, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. If you're making changes, eating healthier, working out, that's awesome. But if your main goal is weight loss, then it looks like and you're gaining weight, we might need to tweak your nutrition strategy so that you can get the result of your hard work in the gym. If you have any questions about that, feel free to send me a message. I would love to help. All right. Let's say you were getting results and now you're stuck. What you might be experiencing is a concept called metabolic adaptation. Some people try to call this starvation mode, which, by the way, does not exist. I actually hate that term. A lot of professionals in the nutrition industry also hate the word starvation mode. If any personal trainer or quote unquote coach is telling you must be in starvation mode, run in the opposite direction, because that does not exist. Where we can actually see starvation is in low economic countries where there actually is low availability of food. That's where you can actually see people who are starving, and you can see it in their body frame. Okay. So what is metabolic adaptation? So metabolic adaptation is when your body starts to make adjustments to how much energy you are giving them. Okay, so remember in the beginning, we talked about the law of thermodynamics, that your body wants balance, right? It's looking for balance. So let's just say you have been dieting for a long time. Let's say your metabolism started like this, and you're starting to give it less. You're giving it less food because you're trying to lose weight, right? So it's tapping into stored fat to try to make sure that we match this level. We want to stay balanced. So it's tapping into stored fat. Okay. After a while, when your body gets smart and says, oh my gosh, we've been eating less food for a while now. Let's try to slow down and down-regulate our human bodily processes so that we can conserve energy. Okay. So we don't have to always tap into stored fat for fuel. Some things that you might be noticing are maybe very low energy, harder to recover from the gym. So like you stay sore longer, your sleep is disturbed. What's the other thing I was thinking of? You're grouchy, you're hangry, but you'll also notice that you're not moving as much. So instead of getting up to find the remote, you call one of your children to grab the remote for you. Right? You are not as active, not moving as much. And that's because your body is down regulating its energy to match its intake. And that's the beautiful part about the human body. The human body is smart. It knows how to adapt to what you give it. So where do I see metabolic adaptation? I see that when and everyone's sticking point is different, but I see it when someone's usually been in a deficit, maybe more than 3 to 6 months. I'll start to see some signs of metabolic adaptation. Or if you have a long dieting history and a frequent dieting history, and you are been on the diet roller coaster, meaning like every other month you try a new diet, and it's diet meaning like extreme diet. So like every other month you try to eat very little, you try to go low carb, and it's like all the time, up and down, up and down. And the more frequently you have dieted in your past, the more likely your body starts to downregulate its metabolism because you've been on so many diets. Okay. So I've just explained to you, those are the kind of some of the signs when it's time to take a break from your deficit. And this is something I also walk my clients through. But if you notice that you have very low energy, some of the things you've tried before, like trying to make healthier changes, you're not losing weight like you would, you might be experiencing metabolic adaptation where your metabolism has just kind of downregulated to all the things that you've put it through, right? So you've been on a lot of low calories dieting over and over and over again. So we might have to spend a period of time letting your body feel safe and maintaining your weight. For people who are coaching with me, we do our deficits in cycles, meaning we're not going to be in a deficit all the time. There's going to be periods where we cycle it out. And on the next training, I'm going to show what I do to help stimulate my clients' metabolism. So it's a concept called metabolic flexibility. So your metabolism is pretty awesome because it can be flexible. And I take my clients through this cycle. So you need to come next Tuesday at 12 o'clock if you want to learn all about metabolic flexibility and how I take my clients through that. That training will be next week. All right, I know this was a lot. So if you guys have any questions, please drop them in the chat box, or if you want to message me, please message me. I would also love to know your favorite takeaway from this live if you watched. And I appreciate you showing up, watching, and sharing on your timeline to someone who you think might appreciate the education. And if you're inside my group, thank you for being there. And if you have any other questions or you want to access any of my replays from my weekly Tuesday talks, you've got to be in that group. And I have a little bit of availability this month. So I am looking for just 3 new clients this month. And I'm looking for 3 female business owners, CEOs, or working professionals who are over 35 years old, who want to lose up to 20 pounds over the next 12 to 16 weeks. If this is you, comment "I'm next" below, and we'll hop on a quick DM conversation to see if I can help. Hi, Christine. So the criteria I'm looking for is that you're busy. I get it. You're a busy and ambitious woman who is tired of struggling alone, and you just want to feel like yourself again. And you know you have it within you with the right plan, the right tools, the accountability. You know you can rock this plan. You're coachable and ready to do the work using a system that works. And you are straight ready to wear the clothes to show off in. You probably already have an amazing wardrobe instead of clothes that you hide in. All right. And you're truly ready for a change. Send me a DM, put "I'm next" in the comments, and we'll talk about possibly working together. Here's the real truth. This program is not a quick fix. All right. I'm not going to ask you to give up all carbs like Yummy Taco Tuesday, Pizza Friday, or having coffee dates with your girlfriends. Not going to do that. If you don't want accountability and you aren't willing to put yourself on the to-do list, then this program won't be for you. And if you don't think investing in yourself is worth it, this program will not be for you. However, if you are ready, if you are all of these things and you're looking for some help, type "I'm next" in the comments. If you are looking for results like these are just some of my previous clients. I've actually have so many more before and afters. I got to put those together. But these are just some of my clients that I've helped. So if you're looking for those kind of results, type "I'm next" in the comments. I am only taking 3 people this month. I'm pretty close to capacity. So If you've been thinking about working with me, now is your chance. And just type "I'm next" in the comments and we will have a chat. So, hold on. I almost typed the wrong thing. All right. Thank you for watching. Make sure you show up for the next Tuesday talk. And this is Coach Rose rooting for you to say that it's all about me in 2023. Me as in you. Go out there and make it happen.